Okay, hello and welcome back to the Cronecast at the Rising Moon. My name is Elaine. On this channel, we're waiting to see if my live stream is going to launch, and it's taking its own sweet time. So let's see. Now I have to make sure that shut me up. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Cronecast at the Rising Moon. My name is Elaine, and on this channel, I do yes and no tarot. I do astrological reading. I do active magic, candle magic tarot. I do pick a card readings, and I also do the Spirit Guide Monthly. This is the Spirit Guide Monthly. I have a pick a card presentation for you. There are 4 piles in this. It might be a little out of focus. I might need to replace my webcam. I've been having a really hard time getting it to focus. I apologize if it's a little bit blurry. Hopefully it will improve when I get the light on my ring light. We have 4 piles, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. I hope August went really, really well for you. I ask that you do not pick my piles based on, I always pick number 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you could concentrate, see which one calls out to you. That is the message that you are most meant to receive. Let's see what we're getting going for the month of September. All right. Hopefully it's been enough time for you to figure out which one's yours. What's going to happen now? It's the traditional bad sound. The light goes on, and hopefully the ring light. That's the band sound of adjusting my ring light to get back where it needs to be. All right, let's see how we're doing. I will not know for about 10 seconds whether or not I've gotten the frame adjustment correct. That looks wonky as can be. All right. August, hot, almost over. Yay. All right. Okay. All right, everybody, let's get our housekeeping out of the way. I hope everyone had a wonderful month. We're going to move with pile number 1, and I'm going to try and get my tabletops into a position that the light just doesn't bounce off of them. I have kind of a hard time with that. And then they're not showing up when I see the recordings. So, oh, that is really, really crooked. Let's see if I can get it better. I'm really sorry, guys. I know this is not the most fascinating part. And of course, it just takes about forever to catch up with me sometimes. So, all right, pile number 1, and then we're going to get these guys out of the way. Yes, that was a fun month. I hope everybody had a really, really good one. Hopefully there will be good messages for this. And we're moving into the autumn. This is now, we're in Virgo season. All the Virgos have a wonderful birthday. The Crystal Tarot is going to be bringing you the predictive spread. As usual, I went absolutely insane with oracle cards. I still don't know if I'm, like it's like they've increased the delay or something. I still don't know if I'm even in the right trajectory here. All right. Well, we're just going to have to run with that as it is. All right, everybody, let's get going for pile number 1. Timestamps will be edited in after the broadcast. I will not get to them for probably a couple hours right afterwards. So if you see this directly after it's been shown, then unfortunately, it may not be super accurate. All right, here we go. Let's get going for pile number 1. This is your fortune cookie card and your angel answer card. What I do with that is these are the 2 cards I read at the end of the reading. The angel answer card is for if you have anything in particular that's a kind of pressing question, hopefully it will have the answer for you. Starseed Oracle this month is Earth Guide. Your sacred calling upon this planet is to simply love and be loved. Interesting. That is a form of energy transmutation, meaning that you can transmute energy from dark energy to light energy. I have responding, not reacting. The only control we have is in how we respond to the hand we are dealt. Remember, how we perceive our life, our reality is partially a choice. This is the Lantern Oracle. It's really, really, really good for shadow work, for resolving childhood trauma. Responding, not reacting. If you grow up in a situation in which you're not particularly safe, you can grow up as a very reactive person because sometimes it's kind of like a dog barking. You learn to have a big reaction to try and protect yourself. As adults, of course, we have to try and respond, not react, meaning that you process things from all angles, both emotionally and logically. All right, that's something to be working on. You could be facing a challenge in September that's going to call upon you to make that conscious choice. Make no judgments. Wow, I get this a lot. Make no judgments against yourself or others. Now, it's a little bit funny because that doesn't mean you're not supposed to have judgment about who is allowed into your life, but rather making judgments about other people's choices or lives or where they're coming from. We never know somebody's whole story. If we do, then it starts to add balance to some of the things they do, even when they've done heinous things. I'll give you an example. In tarot card reading, we see a lot of, people talking about third-party situations and what would lead somebody who's an otherwise good person to get involved in a committed relationship and then not honor that commitment. It can frequently have to do with abandonment issues, having been abandoned in childhood. And so without realizing it, they have an internalized emotional response that they intellectually kind of don't agree with, but the emotional impulses keep driving them towards self-destructive behaviors. And so that's one kind of example of judging something without knowing the full story on it. And even after you know the full story, when you do know the full story, you're less likely to judge. And judgment is just a rigid sort of energy. It keeps us from growing. It keeps us from finding consensus, from being in other people's lives and accepting one another. So that's why it's such a negative thing. Take responsibility for your actions. Oh, with that responding and not reacting. Hey, listen, if you have a situation in which you are not being your highest self, don't think that admitting you were wrong changes anything other than giving you an opportunity to grow and to do better in the future. It's fine to admit I was not my best self there, simply so that you can figure out why and how not to do it again. Swift. Stay true to your heart's desire and keep nature in your heart and home. Boy. You probably want to do some clearing with that energy. There's a lot of earth energy, which is about grounding and clearing. Blessed from the Wisdom Oracle joins, all that glitters. Be a little bit careful with this. This is somebody who it can be a situation or a person who appears to be one thing and there's more to it. But blessed is very much the energy of the universe trying to let you know that you're not alone, trying to make sure that you understand that everything that you receive and everything that is taken away will be replaced by something. We really are not just the piñatas of some sky being. Everything is purposeful. When they say everything happens for a reason, that is because everything is a reaction to something else, but everything happens for a reason in that we are all here to learn lessons. Even our biggest challenges, the hardest things that we faced, were there for a purpose, for a reason. Forgiveness. I think that's self and others. You've got some interesting cards this month. Forgiveness. Ask for help. Angels are celestial beings who protect everyone, and the fairies say now is the time for you to ask for angelic assistance. I don't think I've ever gotten this card before, and God knows I've had the deck for a while. Ask for guidance. By the way, that's something to keep in mind, and I do say it pretty frequently, but I haven't said it recently. We have to ask our guides and angels for their intervention. Otherwise, it's kind of interfering with our free will. They're not supposed to do that. So ask your guides for guidance and your angels for intervention. Remember, angels are not human. They have never been human. They will never be human. Your guides understand your emotional response system. Angelic beings are a little bit baffled by them. They're very, very good, but time doesn't mean anything to them. And they genuinely don't understand emotional pain at the same level. So they will get things done in sometimes the most disruptive fashion, and your guides are the ones that help steer you towards choices that will soften those blows or make the journey just a little bit easier. They work in conjunction. We have joyous fun. You have really, really good cards this month. And then great gratitude. Great gratitude with blessed, joyous fun, and make no judgments, huh? All right, let's get going with the crystal tarot in order to get the predictive spread to see what is looking like it's going to be up for the month of September. September 2021. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, guys, let's go. Let's get going for group number 1 for September 2021. Boy, there's increase, and there's increase indicated here. There's a situation that is likely to cause you to be a little bit triggered as well. That is a situation in which you'll be able to like kind of call upon your guides, kind of like to, sometimes when we're very challenged, you can simply ask for help in finding the strength, finding the balance, being given the right energy to handle something. Here we go. There we go. Here we go. It's still pretty warm in here. Last month's Spirit Guide Monthly, by the end of it, I was a glowing mess because it was about 95 degrees in here by the end of it. I can't have my air conditioning running when I'm recording because it messes with the, something having to do with the microphone. So whenever I'm shooting these, I can't have my air conditioning on again. All right, we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. That is personal responsibility. That is independence. That is focusing on your own personal power, particularly in group situations. You've got something coming up that is going to be a little bit challenging. It's going to kind of tap into some old damage. You're going to be able to overcome it. If you are struggling with your energetic balance, ask for help. I have the Two of Swords in the upright, which is choices. It can be about denial and things being blocked. I like the Two of Swords, though, although it can be about denying a truth that is otherwise known. Just as a for instance, a lot of the times when people are leaving a relationship, my gosh, their friends have been telling them or insinuating for a very long time that person's not for you. And we don't hear what we don't want to hear sometimes. We don't see what we don't want to see. And sometimes it's because we're not quite ready as well. Queen of Cups in reverse is good intuition. That is great emotional flow, is being tapped in. It is receiving intuitive guidance. It can be like a lack of personal happiness. I'm not personally seeing that because I have the Queen of Wands in the upright, the Queen of Cups in reverse. Powerful intuition. You can block it out sometimes if it doesn't fit with the reality that you're hoping for, can't we all? Chariot in reverse. Things have been recently ending. Five of Cups in the upright, but there is increase after a state of loss. The Five of Cups is one of those cards that you always want to see in reverse. You've got the Chariot in reverse up here as well. That does mean that you've brought something to an end in your life in probably the last couple of months, and now you're moving forward. There was a processing and a healing around it, but you're feeling pretty, particularly in September, more and more is coming to you. All that glitters is not gold, is how the saying goes, but I don't think that's really the energy here. It does look like there is a party, so like a party to attend about mid-month or so. Somebody there might be at variance with you in their opinion. Watch how you respond to that. It's not that you're not right, it's just that it won't make a difference, so don't get upset. I have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, again, another card of things are starting over again. Three of Swords in reverse, another card that I only ever like to see in reverse. Every card reader has a different relationship to their cards. And for me, the Three of Swords in reverse is about the release of pain, the healing, moving on after heartbreak. It can be the card for COVID in the upright. In reverse like this, I don't think that's what it is. I think there have been endings. You're feeling a lot happier. You're feeling stronger. You don't listen as closely as you used to after a period of difficulty and pain. Like you were listening to guidance, and I don't think it worked out in the way that you thought it was going to. Like you haven't seen the fruition of it yet. And so you're less likely to be like, I 100% believe. You believe, but you don't spend as much time tapping in. You are being asked to ask your angels and to try and find your intuitive flow again, because it's a tiny little bit blocked. I think sometimes you just feel better working within the practical world. Like this is all fun and games sometimes, but like sometimes it does not seem to carry over in the 3D. And so you concentrate on the more material ways of solving things. Remember, you can strike a balance. Okay, I've got the Nine of Wands in reverse with the Sun in the upright gray. Sun, by the way, can be a card for pregnancy. So if you're trying to plan for that, it's looking good there. But it's also a card of the beginning of new things, transformation, everything positive. It's another card for blessings as well. Four of Cups in reverse. Boy, two different cards with the Five of Cups in reverse and the Four of Cups in reverse of gain after a season or a period of loss. Because the Four of Cups in reverse is when that missed opportunity, that offering from the gods comes in with the Fourth Cup. That is something arriving. It can be a surprise. With the Knight of Swords in the upright, often this is air travel. It is swiftness. It is when things start changing, apparently they're going to change like a bullet. Yeah, that could be a new relationship for some people. Okay, let's see. King of Pentacles in reverse. I keep seeing this for functional depression, high functioning depression, which so many people have after a long period of lockdown, our lives getting entirely changed. It can be a feeling of insecurity, but with the star in the upright and then the lovers in reverse. The lovers in reverse can be a card of healing after trauma, like reintegrating, like particularly wounded inner child with the kind of thinking, feeling, and well-balanced adult part of us. But it can also simply be about that feeling of personal power with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Knowing that you are enough by yourself is not the same thing as needing to be by yourself. And the star in the upright is faith, hope, it's dreams coming true. It can be seen as a card of something that's beyond reach. I'm not seeing it that way here. As you have healed and become whole, more comes to you. You still struggle intermittently with periods of depression, but it's simply because you're still releasing some old emotions. Nine of Swords in reverse, the Empress in the upright, Six of Cups in the upright. Boy, excellent energy around. By the way, the Six of Cups, I'm all saying it's my favorite soulmate card because it is. That's because it's unconditional love. It's endlessly generous. It can be a relationship to the past. I'm not seeing it that way. It can be charity. It can be generosity. With the Empress in the upright and then the Sun over here, once again, we are seeing the potential for a baby. So if anybody is, if you're not in the planning stages for that and it's a possibility, take it under advisement. You're showing as having kind of a fertile cycle right at the moment. And in fact, your creativity is also sparking with that star in the upright because that can be dreams. It's funny, in this Six of Cups, the figure is almost exactly the same as in the star. And in fact, the imagery is very, very similar. This is an energetic connection as well, past life connections. Self-care is something that you've been mastering and doing a lot better at. This is kind of managing your fear much better. You've learned a lot of techniques around that. You've been going towards trying to create a better and more balanced life, and you've been doing a really good job with it. Queen of Swords in reverse, Knight of Pentacles in reverse, Eight of Wands in the upright. That's a traveling card as well with the Nine of Cups in the upright. Oh, lucky, lucky, group number one. So manifestations, receiving of abundance and blessings. That is coming in the form of new connections. There is like a celebration around something. It might be in a work environment because if there's a completion around this as well, with multiple, like the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and then I have the Chariot in reverse as well. That can mean a process that has come to an end, but it's not a disruptive one. I don't have any painful cards around it. Queen of Swords in reverse with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse and the Eight of Wands in the upright. That's a little more leisure and a little less work. Your work-life balance is looking a lot better. Knight of Pentacles in reverse is, it can be not working on something. It can be taking appropriate time off. It can be a vacation as well. It also can be this, like something coming to a grinding halt, followed right by the Eight of Wands in the upright. That's communication, that's swiftness. It's another card for air travel. I don't know if you have travel coming up in September or not, but you've got multiple markers on it. I'm going to say somebody is more likely to be coming in towards you simply because you've got two, like, journey coming to an end type of, you don't have a lot of movement energy around you, but you have friendship available and relationships that are important as well. The forgiveness card is likely to come in for this relationship from the past. Hey, listen, slightly difficult thing to discuss is going to be the Empress with the Six of Cups and that forgiveness card. A lot of people in my collective suffered a lot of childhood trauma. Healers frequently do. That in the Romance Angels deck, there is a card that is like, hey, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. I never like the way that's worded, but one of the things that can happen once you're healed is even if your parents were like, I did not have good parenting, but I look at both of my parents who are both only children and kind of understand the ways in which it was a little bit inevitable. They were both products of their own trauma and difficulty and underprepared parents. And at least one of them was not a welcome person and kind of knew it. That was my dad. And understanding that allows me to forgive the ways in which, like, they were truly, truly dreadful parents, but I am okay. And letting that go and forgiving it as like, it just kind of doesn't matter any longer. The ways that I understand it is about like how it can still sometimes impact my interpersonal relationships, but it's not a wound I'm carrying. It's information that I am accessing sometimes. And that is a very big, big difference. And that's what happens when you manage to forgive. Something about forgiving your mother for past slights helps you be like less burdened going forward in all of your relationships. And you will find that your friendships and your romantic relationships, all of our core relationships go towards forging how we will interact in our other relationships going forward, friendships, romances, even career. Our first relationships act as a template. If you can examine without, because remember, if you're safe in the here and now, that person can no longer hurt you. If you can examine some of the ways in which perhaps your caretakers let you down or were abusive, or without it being triggering and painful, and simply understanding wounded things are wounded. They're wounding as well. So like I've talked a fair amount about like just how really I laugh every single time because it's just ridiculously pitched in terms of like how bad it really could be. It's not that it's funny, it's that it can't hurt me any longer. So I do just kind of laugh at like the satire of it. But thinking back on some of the things that went on with my own parents, allowing myself to like no longer react just from my viewpoint helped me heal a great deal. Kind of wondering, well, what would it have been like to be the unwanted child of a shotgun wedding, which was my dad. And my grandparents were super, super, super into each other and completely ignored him. And it just did funny things to the man. And he's long, long, long dead. And it's much easier to forgive somebody who's like, frankly, no longer with us, because you never have to see them, you never have to confront them. This is talking about trying to forgive your mother for the ways in which perhaps she was not an ideal role model, caretaker, parent. Just trying to figure out, it's not the same thing as saying, so what you did didn't matter, just rather I've learned all the lessons, I've healed all the wounds, and I see you as a full person, not just as somebody who let me down in the role I most closely associate you with. Just freeing. I have love life. The basis of your question involves your romantic life, which is now changing for the better. Is it now? Well, we'll find out more about that with this card. I do have a connection that is incoming. I didn't see it developing into a full romance yet, but when I was just talking about forgiving your parents, as I was shuffling these, every form of relationship will improve once you resolve your trauma from the past. And resolving it does mean letting go of acrimony, of blame, and it will never, ever, 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 ever mean what you did didn't matter. It won't mean that. It's simply that it's the way to free yourself and to have better relationships and to go back to being, if the whole nature versus nurture thing goes back to your nature. Once you have resolved the ways in which your nurture perhaps did not prepare you adequately for the life that you are being asked to live, it becomes much easier for your natural impulses to guide and to shape and to maintain your relationships. But let's get some actual details for September. That was your emotional stuff, apparently. I'd like a little bit more, so. 2 more times, please. This is the Enchanted Map. We're going to pull some oracle cards now because I'm just going insane with oracles right now. I like doing these once a month. I do miss doing them once a week. If we ever go back down into lockdown, I hope we don't, I'll go back to doing them once a week because it was a way to keep people company. Stuck in the mud, nothing was happening for a very long time. Intention, metamorphosis, heal the ouch. You have had, pile number 1, you've got a lot of everything is changing in a healing journey type of energy. Intention is, remember, we get to choose our emotional direction on things. If you are trying to figure out why friendships or love relationships or any type of relationship has been negatively impacted by your formative experience, the easiest thing to do is try and do so in as detached a manner as possible. meaning looking at it from all sides so that you can learn the most, so that you can change your outcomes going forward. Because unfortunately, that's the only way we can ever really change the past, is by changing the way that we view it and the way that we apply it to our future. What have we got going on for September here? Slow start to the month. For whatever reason, I'm picking up a lot of leisure activity. I don't know what it might be, because, you know, in the US, of course, we have a holiday weekend, but I've got good gatherings. I've got good, I don't have conflict. I just don't have conflict. I have a pause on like a lot of areas of life, like professional development and educational development. I think simply that it's a coasting type of thing. It's not that nothing's going on. There is, take responsibility for your actions. Responding, not reacting. There's kind of a lot, and I still have allergies, I apologize. You're being asked to make sure that you're planning like fun things, like getting out there, doing things, going to the movies with friends if you're able to, or at least gathering in safe ways that you can, because you're trying to have a balance around like a release of, it's no longer trauma, it's no longer pain. What it is like this subtle, nuanced, well, how did that impact this area and that area, and the things that I don't directly associate with, well, my childhood, the ways in which I was asked, I learned how to approach the world has informed a lot of my outcomes. And it's almost like this is PhD level healing type of stuff, where you've taken care of the bulk of it, and now you're like really fine tuning things. Blessed. I have good influx on, like, money looks very good. Increase, good manifesting energy. Please remember to visualize. Please remember to visualize. And remember, there's something called speaking things into existence. And I am not, and first of all, the law of attraction does not work the way people think it does. It is not natural or even healthy to never have a negative thought. You'll hear people talking about the law of attraction saying, you have to absolutely believe it. Don't have any tiniest doubt. That is not healthy. That is not normal. And that is not how manifestation works. It is the bulk of your energy, the bulk of your focus, where you direct your will, that causes manifestation. And I accidentally caused the strangest thing to manifest. I kept telling people when I had to move that ideally I would move to the woods and be far away from other people. And then I'd say, but of course I can't do that. I'd love to go live in the country, in the woods somewhere, but of course I can't do that. And what happened was, the townhome I ended up renting, every single window has a view of nothing but trees. So I live in an optical illusion where it looks like I live in the woods. And I did not realize that when I looked at this place. It was only living here that I was just like, why does it seem like I'm in a forest? Because every single window overlooks trees, and like lots of them. And then I'm close to farms, a horse farm, and a couple of other things that are also on my list. And that was very, very, very unlikely. But I kept saying what I wanted in a very particular form, and I didn't think it was possible, and it came to me anyway, because the way that I was talking about it was not with bitterness or regret. I was kind of joking around. And I still managed. This is a very, very unusual situation. It should not have worked out the way that it should have, but it did. And it was a very fortuitous situation. So remember that. Talk about what you want to have happen. Allow for the universe to let the details be filled in by the universe. But what you say matters. What you think matters. Do not be up on yourself if you have a bad day, if you have doubt. It does not spoil manifestation. I'm really not sure where that idea came from. Repression is not healthy. Please don't engage in it. Deal with your negative feelings, deal with your negative emotions, examine them, understand where they're coming from, release them to the extent that you can, and know that everybody has a bad mood, everybody has a bad day. It is not going to spoil your reality. This reality is not meant to be like your dreamland wish fulfillment. This is a big university. We come here to learn over and over again. It's a purposeful thing. Learning how to contribute, how to have personal happiness with purpose within a greater whole is really the point of most of our existences. The idea behind the law of attraction is that if you see it, you can have it, you can bring it to you. we're not meant to be solely centered on self like that. That is not a big learning experience. We're part of a greater whole. So the law of attraction, while interesting, is a little bit flawed in how it is taught. And again, manifestation, simply continue to envision and talk about what it is, even if it's just yourself, what you're hoping to have happen. And don't think you're doing anything wrong if things have not materialized yet. Divine timing really is the thing. There was a bunch of things that I asked for that didn't arrive because I thought I was ready and I wasn't. And I can kind of see that now. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm actually really grateful that this, that, and the other did not work out. September is a strange month for you, group number one, because all I had was a lot of things about gathering with people, making sure that you make that a priority. But it is another healing month, and it's not an arduous one, but your money looked fine. And there is something around trying to address the ways in which your parental relationship with your mother may have colored the way that you view relationships and the partners that you choose. And that's not about blame. It's not about judgment. It's about understanding. And understanding gives us power to enact more choice in our lives and have better outcomes. Let's go for group number one. This is the energy oracle. What else do I have for group number one and two? Contract. Oh gosh, it's a soul contract. Okay. The temple path, attachment, sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron. Okay. Well, so that star card with the Six of Cups comes in here. A lot of people in my collective have a soul contract and are energetically connected to another soul. In some instances, that's a soul contract. Sometimes it's a twin flame. Twin flames can exist to help us heal, and we're never meant to be with them. Or twin flames can be, we're supposed to heal and then do absolutely everything together because we're made from the same energy. And we will have achieved essentially the highest level of evolution that we can within this lifetime, once we've healed the issues that we're aware of and we're working on within this lifetime. But there are also soulmates that we are energetically attached to. This is simply saying that you do have a soul contract. You have somebody you're energetically connected to. There is still some healing work to do, and you can communicate with this person psychically when you wish to. Now, what else happens whenever I say this is like somebody who's married or has a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a they friend is in the comments talking about that. If you get a message that is in contrast to your life circumstances, all that means is that the part of the message is not for you. In collective readings, there will be multiple scenarios at play. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Let's go for the romance angels nonetheless, even if you're happily paired up. It's nice to know what might be happening for the people who are not. Let's go for group number one. What's happening in September 2021? What's happening in September 2021? September 2021 for group number one. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Chemistry, there's strong magnetic attraction here. Group number one, the bulk of that is saying that your pairing currently exists in energetic space and is just relying on you to complete some more work in your healing journey so that you can be with your best pairing. And if you look around and you see all these people who are clearly not with their soul contract, best pairing, and it's like, well, why do they get to have a relationship while I have to be over here gathering dust on a shelf? You don't have to be. And the reason that you're held in stasis, sometimes things are held back because you did have multiple cards from the Enchanted Oracle that were about deep freeze and all kinds of things and stuck in the mud. Yep, intention and metamorphosis with heal the ouch. Stuck in the mud, intention, metamorphosis, until such time as you are able to heal, you can enact the changes that you need in order to be with your true partner. And what happens if you don't heal? I think you're going to, so I'm not really sure that it's a great issue, but theoretically, until such time as we heal, that which is meant for you cannot be kept from you. So you will still find your divine partner. It's just that you may need extra lifetimes to resolve some things. I don't think you're going to need it. I don't. Like this is the energy of someone who's come a really long distance in their healing journey, and you're just kind of wrapping up those loose ends around what you would like to resolve to have better outcomes. Okay, let's go for your angel answer card. Remember, if you had a question, this is the card that hopefully will answer it, and then I'll get you your fortune cookie card. This is, oh, good, yay, big happy changes. Boy, that fits with some of the things I saw. Really, really like merry sort of energy around that. The healing work that you're doing, it's by choice. This is not like trauma processing where it's like, oh, I've just puked out every feeling I ever had and have almost no control over it. It's not about purging. It's about choosing to tidy some things, the last details up in something. And your fortune cookie card is nature. Interact with nature in the outdoors, around animals, farmlands, or by the ocean. This will be good for the soul and healing for you. One of my favorite things to do is to get out into nature. It's one of the best ways for me to meditate. I'm almost always with my dogs, and so I need to take them to dog-friendly places, and luckily there are a ton of them around here. Try to get to parks. Remember that I was just telling a client earlier, leaning up against a tree is one of the most grounding and healing things that you can do, because darker energy is then drawn down into source where it can harm none. It's a great place to, you had ask your angels for assistance, to try and tap in, to ask for guidance, to ask for help. Sometimes to ask for clarity as well around why some things haven't happened yet. That can be helpful as well. All right, we're moving on to pile number 2. Timestamps will be edited in after the broadcast, not immediately afterwards, I don't think. Depends on how rapidly I finish up here. If you get to it before I get the timestamps in, my apologies. And remember, if you would like to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. I need to remember to reinforce or like make these much darker because they haven't been showing up on camera here, and I'm not really sure why. The Thelema deck, my old Warhorse beaten up, awesome deck that it is going to be bringing you the predictive spread, but let's go for your oracle cards, group number 2. This is your fortune cookie card. I will read that at the end with your angel answers card. If you have a question and the reading doesn't answer it, or even if it does, this card should help give you an answer to your question. Your light starseed oracle card is Starseed. Raise the vibration of the planet through your radiant, loving light. I attract so many light workers. And is the narrative around light workers entirely accurate? I don't believe so. But I don't think any of the religious or spiritual teachings narratives are entirely accurate. I think there are many things beyond our understanding. Things pass through human vessels. There is interpretation done. But is the core of it very, very true? Yes. You come from somewhere else with more light than other beings to add light into a darkening world. Raise the vibration of the planet through your radiant, loving light. As I'm always saying, you are who you are for a reason. And that doesn't mean that everything happened to you because of that, like your identity. Although when you have so much light, you attract a lot of darkness as it tries to kind of obliterate you. You have to be very good at protecting yourself, have strong boundaries, be able to heal through basically choice, which a lot of emotional healing is about choosing. Lantern, consciousness is light. Got a lot of your light type of thing. This is the Lantern Oracle. Oddly enough, this is the Lantern card, but this is very good for childhood trauma, for inner childhood work, and also for formative damage. And they're all the same thing. It's just different people use different terminologies. Consciousness is light. You can tap in, ask for alleviation around any darkness or pain, ask for assistance as well. Remember, you are part of a greater whole, and in a collective, you are part of all the people around you. And I do have a very deeply traumatized collective for the most part. The higher level healers, people with more light energy, they usually have had something try to stop them. There's a lot of trauma, sometimes healing from abuse, for people who are able to heal. There can also be a struggle with addictions or substance abuse because people in pain quite frequently reach for something to take away the pain. Light workers are very loving and have a tendency to reach for relationships to take away the pain because they attract darker source. Sometimes their partners aren't the most awesome, and then you have to heal your ability to love so that you can project more light. That's the theory. All right, imagine solutions. I was just telling the last group, please remember when you're manifesting, it is okay to have doubt. It is okay to have negative thought here and there. It is not actually healthy to try and eradicate all negativity. We exist best in a state of balance. Our negative impulses and emotions exist so that we can examine them and to make the choice to go towards either light or dark. So imagine solutions is envisioning what you need to have happen. Whenever you're trying to visualize something into being, please try not to have it involve only one other person. That's a very rigid energy and it gives like the universe much less to work with. So have some open door policy around, have it work out something like this or something better. It's releasing attachment to outcomes is not the same thing as like your dreams will never be achieved. You'll never get what you want. What it means is the way you're envisioning something working out, there could be a wonderful solution. You haven't imagined it yet. So imagining solutions is about multiple scenarios for things to go well. This could happen. If that doesn't work out, maybe there's something else. Keeping yourself moving in a positive and light-filled direction as much as you can helps a great deal with bringing to be the reality that you would like to. Be of service, starseeds, light workers. We are here to do a job, to try and help add light into an ever-darkening world. One of the best ways to combat both anxiety and depression is to be of service to others. And that can be being a very good friend. It can be volunteering. It can be donating to something. If you feel like you're contributing to the greater whole, you are immediately connecting with a positive greater whole source. And it strengthens our healing and light energy. It'll just make you feel better too. All right, I have Starling. Find strength in social community and achieve your goals, which is literally just what I was talking about. Find strength in social community and achieve your goals. Be of service. Be part of a society, part of a group, even a community, interacting online, talking to people in Instagram comment sections. Exchanging energy amplifies energy when you're talking to like-minded people. That is not the same thing as saying exist in a think tank. What it is saying is that as you approach a situation with healing, loving, and basically positive and proactive energy, it will cause that to increase in your life. And that is part of imagining solutions as well. Serendipity. So there are princes of Seren. That's a big long tail. What serendipity really is fortuitous coincidence, things happening in tandem or in a synchronized manner that will bring about a lucky end result. Good fortune, basically. Circumstances coming together to create good fortune. When we are trying to manifest things, when we're like, where's my great life that I've been promised? I've been asking my guides. It assembles a little piece at a time. Whenever I'm doing magic for people, they always expect big flash bang, there it is. It is not how reality works. It's not how energy works. And it's not how magic works. It will start, the details will come in one piece at a time until you're standing in the full picture. You may not realize how long it's been happening. Right now, everything that is happening in your life is trying to bring you what you have been asking for. Don't resist it. Don't resist it. Even if you're like, but this is not positive. And I asked very specifically for this, and this has nothing to do with that. Trust that there's more going on, that there is a chess game instead of a checkers game going on. I have round and round with serendipity. Yay. Wonders. I think I know what that's about. Wonders. Give me just one moment. It should be about things coming into being, like something treasured that you'd hoped for, beginning to stir to life. Yep. Oh, new beginnings. The fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby or the birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. Is this possibly a literal baby? Oh, yeah, sure. It absolutely can be. The first group had something around that as well. It is likely the start of something that is promising and young, and it is a fertile time as well. Good imagination, good new beginnings. August was a great month too, but September is looking like peaceful form of joyous. Like there's less disruption around it so far. Watch for group number 3. I'll be like, okay, everything's going on. The vast universe and ascended masters. So what happens when we have achieved all the healing that we're hoping to as starseeds, light workers, people who can manifest, healers? What happens is you attach or you meet or you have access to your ascended masters who have ancestral knowledge for you to help flesh out your ability to do things within this world. And everybody's path looks a little bit different. When you are in alignment, when you have released that which no longer serves you, you have access to these great teachers who are part of your guide team. And our guides change throughout our lives. Some will stay with us forever, but when you need help with a particular thing, in will come new guides. Ascended masters help you find the information and the skill set that you need to achieve the purpose that you came here to achieve. All right, let's go through the Thelema deck. Here we go. There we go. It is not as hot in here as it was the last month that I did this. It was hilarious for me when because I have no idea what I say when I do these things. I have to go back and watch because I channel a lot. And by the 4th group, I was just a cloud of perspiration because it was about 90 degrees in there. Luckily, there's a cool breeze today. There we go. Let's get going for group number 2. What do we need to know for them for September? Come on, Thelema, what we're going to do here? 3 more times. This is 1. And 2. Little choppy, not sure why. Oh no. And 3. Well, you're coming out. Not the most auspicious beginning with the King of Cups in reverse, and who my least favorite figure, the Emperor in reverse. So your influences are things hopefully from the past, but this is a difficult, draining, and power abusing energy that I think you're moving beyond, but let's see. Yep, 4 of Wands in reverse. You've left it behind. Yay. Ace of Swords in the upright. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Tower in reverse. Oh, you're just in a rebuilding energy. Well, that's good. The Star in the upright. Okay. The Moon in the upright. Why are you blocked there? 7 of Pentacles in the upright. 8 of Swords in reverse. I promise I will talk about what the cards actually mean rather than just naming them. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Knight of Wands in the upright. Good progress on things. King of Wands in the upright. 10 of Pentacles in the upright. Wheel of Fortune in the upright. Ooh, group number 2. Judgment in reverse. Queen of Wands in the upright. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Page of Swords in the upright. Hierophant in reverse. Ace of Wands in the upright. 2 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. All right, so wow, interesting group number 2. After resolving a difficult situation in which you are on the receiving end of an abuse of power, you have been doing a lot of work to continue going forward. And September is a slightly frustrating energy on multiple occasions, having to do with some past issues, but you get through it over and over again. This figure that you have tried to leave behind, this could be a boss, it could be a partner, frankly, it could be a parent, but they have both the narcissist and the sociopath cards, one right after the other. And so that is usually a malignant narcissist, which is very close to sociopathy. If you've been recovering from a relationship with, and healers attract predators. It's particularly sociopaths like to study other people to see how they can act to gain better outcomes for themselves. And so they find the best people that they can, the most loving, the kindest, the most generous. And then they basically treat them like little lab rats to learn about what people are like and how to get what they want out of them. You may have had a figure like that in your life. It could have been at a formative stage, or it could have been in a romantic relationship, but you have broken free of them and you're feeling your own individual power, although you're kind of standing like with the what now, what happens now energy. Oh, this whole new life is beginning. This is a card of dreams coming true, but you're not going to be told a lot. And there's a reason. Apparently you can manifest like a crazy person, like you can basically just think it and there it goes. It just came to be. sometimes when we're that powerful, you're not going to get the details you want out of a reading. And the reason is every time you're given a detail, you start altering your reality around it. You try to bring that to be. So if there is something that if you're being denied information or the information keeps changing around a certain area of your life, don't think it's that you're being denied or something isn't coming into be. It's just that you keep altering things and accidentally delaying things. We've gotten that message before. There are a lot of people who can do mind magic here. There's some practitioners as well. You have the King and the Queen of Wands. King of Wands in the upright, 10 of Pentacles in the upright, and then the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. That is an energy of like money practically raining from the darn sky. And the funny thing is there doesn't appear to be a lot of effort with it. And for whatever reason, it's coming out with an energy of having been drained and frustrated before this around this material gain. It's a lot of security coming to you. This is life partner energy with that 10 of Pentacles also. I have a feeling the thing that you're being like, yeah. I have a feeling the thing that you're not being allowed to know much about has to do with your personal future. Like it looks like you can get like the practical details around what's happening with work, what's happening with this, and just nothing much is coming to you in terms of what you're allowed to know about. Will my relationship work out? Will I ever meet somebody? Will my person come back? Will I find a new person? And like you get weird and varying answers and then things never materialize. And right now, this whole Ascended Masters thing, remember, boy, can they ever problem solve. So if you love tarot because it helps soothe anxiety to get answers. And I run into that with clients sometimes where they want to get their cards read once, like they're like, oh gosh, that helped me with this. And they want to get the cards read very, very frequently. Your answers will start becoming less focused and muddied because we're not actually meant to have a roadmap to our lives. We're meant to have guideposts. So you're being told what you need to know. And if you keep going after all the details that you're not supposed to be getting because it's part of your path, part of your lesson, you will not get accurate details. And sometimes they will be very misleading indeed, so that your energy will turn towards another direction and your guides can be over there, and the angels and the universe and everything else that helps bring our reality into being can get something done that is part of your life's path. It can almost seem like you're being tricked by guides sometimes, and you never, ever, ever are. It's just that they're very versatile in how they can bring things into being. You have this energy of this fresh start. There looks like a new relationship, but it's different than, it's not a very typical relationship. That Hierophant energy in reverse is kind of a non-conforming energy. That, by the way, can be the end of a marriage. I don't have anything else that suggests that. Although with this Four of Wands in reverse, you might be on the other side of leaving behind a long-term relationship. That's not what this is about. This is about more communication with potentially interested parties. I'm not seeing the resolution on that. This is a missing piece card. They're literally not going to tell me. And try not to be upset by that when it happens. It's actually a very, very good thing, because it means that whatever it is that you're asking about is far closer than you think it is. So just try to relax and trust when you have been hurt a great deal. And healers are almost always hurt a great deal because they're very empathetic and they feel things at a very, very deep level. When you've been hurt a great deal, the concept of having to wait and having to wait and having to wait for something that will make you, it makes people nervous. Like you kind of want to have reassurance that, will I get to be happy again? Will I get to be like, is anything ever going to change in an emotionally positive fashion? When you're being denied details like that, that's actually a really good thing, because it's basically the universe saying yes. And even though you've been hurt a lot, we need you to trust us. It was never us hurting you. It's not saying that you're hurting yourself, but free will comes into play. Other people come into play. If you can't get a straight answer on something, don't think that means that there's no answer. It's just that for whatever reason, with all of this very forceful energy that you have a very powerful personality. You're not being told about something so that it'll get you sooner. Oh, interesting. Vegetarian. A new way of eating gives you more energy, great health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. Now, like a lot of psychics, I don't eat meat because it's about lower vibrational foods. I usually don't have anything to do with dairy either because same deal. You don't have to remember some counts. Like you don't have to go 100% extremist view on everything. Try to watch your diet. If you are trying to enhance your ability, this is a psychic influence card. This is being very connected, tapped in flow with the universe. If you're trying to improve your clarity around intuition, remember cacao, introducing antioxidants into your diet, eliminate fluoride, and eat as healthfully as you can. That doesn't mean you can never have junk food. It's just make sure that you're bringing in fresh fruits and vegetables, or at least fruits and vegetables, as often as you can, and make sure that if you go out for a great big prime rib dinner or something, don't think that's going to be the night where you get a ton of spirit guide action. It is your body's busy doing something and it lowers your vibration, and that's basically all it is. One of the meanings of that card is that if you're trying to tap in more, what you can do is like 2 or 3 days without any animal products will help improve your clarity. And it doesn't have to be a complete lifestyle change. It doesn't. If you're really resistant to that, no worries. Some counts. All right, here we go. Let's get going. What else do we have for pile number 2? You have an interesting month. Fair amount of work, but you're not like exhausted. I have a new offer for I have contract work in a creative field. If I've got a technical writer here, you've got some work coming in because there's a lot around contracts for this and being an individual contributor to something. You're still trying to resolve some anger at this figure, this central figure who's shown up with both the narcissist and the sociopath card. You're still trying to resolve anger. Here's what I think. I think you've only recently come to the point of being angry at them instead of angry at the divine. And that happens all the time. We aim our anger first in a safer direction. And then as time moves on, like be angry with the individual who made those choices rather than the divine. Why did you let that happen to me? Usually it's a case of we made choices. And like, I'm speaking very particularly of myself right now. I was being told for 15 years before I left my husband that I had to. And it came in all shapes and forms, and like friends and people. And at one point, a shaman coming to me and being like, "You're a shaman, and you have to leave your husband." And I was like, "No, I won't leave my husband." So it's whenever I get upset about what happened, I have to remember I resisted and resisted and resisted and resisted. And does that make it my fault? No, it's very, very, very human. It's just, it means that to understand it is to prevent it happening again. It's not about blame. It's not even about, although it can be about responsibility, mostly it's about understanding something so that you can break a pattern. Oh, angel of love, good for you. Fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. First chakra, Archangel Michael, a woman holding a coin, and the thinking woman. This is balancing the head and the heart energy all over the place. What a beautiful, secure energy, though. Whatever money woes you've had, September is feeling like a good flow month. Good progress if you're working on projects. It's a little bit effortless. Like the focus of your energy is on your personal happiness, which is, the angel of love can be a self-love card as well. The Archangel Gabriel, of course, that's what I'm attached to. I'm attached to the spirit of air. I'm a conduit for the Archangel Gabriel, or it's called the Archangel Gabriel in the Christian belief system that I was raised in. I no longer practice it, but I will still use the name Gabriel. And it is the spirit of air. This is the spirit of earth, actually. Michael is in charge of earth. That is the spirit of earth. People are generally not conduits for Michael. They work with Michael, but Michael's not the most communicative one. Woman holding a coin, this can be Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, simply a woman of business as well. With the woman holding a coin, with the thinking woman, which is essentially the Queen of Swords, really good creative flow, ideas coming to you, and you're not very impulsive, which you can struggle with around some decisions in your professional life. It's funny, like your social stuff for the month is like, it's mostly associated with a topic, a subject. It could be about work. It could be about an interest. There's not a lot of just hanging out with friends. I'm not getting the vibe that that's a problem for you. I'm not. Like, it seems like maybe you prefer your socialization to be about subjects. Very good month with, again, good financial increase. If you're running a business, you're not run off your feet, but you're feeling really secure. It's like you've really got your feet underneath you in September as well. Healing journeys are being completed all over the place, and you're still examining a situation to try and release some anger towards somebody who it looks like they really truly deserve the anger, but you deserve to feel better. And so releasing it to the extent that you can, and just let that person go. Let that person go. Who cares what they're doing? Like, they're out of your life. Yay. Find strength in social community and achieve your goals. Try to have contact with people who believe the same things that you do. It will aid your energy. It will tap you into the greater collective more. It will enhance and amplify your ability to connect. Consciousness is light. You're not getting a lot of meditation cards. You're getting more like, please try and do things purposefully in your social interactions in the 3D. New beginnings and joyous news. Hey, that 10 of Pentacles energy is frequently about good news around money. So keep an eye out for that. That's not going to be until about the 3rd week. I'm not sure why, but it's just registering as being later in September versus earlier. A good coasting month on certain levels, not a lot of worries, still dealing with trying to release anger over a situation that seems like it was pretty unfair. Did I get you a romance angel? I didn't. Here we go. Let's get a romance angel for group number 2. What's going to happen romantically for group number 2? What's happening for group number 2? New love. Came out with unrequited love. I'm putting that away. It's possible somebody's going to fall in love with you and you're not into it, but absolutely nothing said that like you're going to fall in love with somebody and they're not going to love you back. So I'm just taking this one. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. This could be a new relationship. It could truly be a new person. Again, that looks like it's coming a little bit later in the month. It's very, very possible that my dog is going to be freaking out and barking soon, by the way. Trust is from the angel answers. That is whatever you are asking, this is what you're being asked to do. And it can be very difficult to trust after periods of disruption or pain. Try to. The universe and the divine always has your best interests at heart. And we want these very peaceful, never hurt me type of lives. We need contrast. We need to sometimes experience pain so we can understand how to heal a wound. Jealousy. Watch who you trust with your personal secrets and plans. Spend time outdoors with nature to reconnect and replenish. Okay. Didn't get the sense of like an adversarial force around you in September, but apparently watch who you trust with your personal secrets and plans. If you've got like a brilliant idea, keep it to yourself. Remember, talking about what you want to have happen is one thing. Talking about what you're trying to manifest is another. Be careful with that. And then grounding, spending time outdoors. Healers do incredibly well with natural beauty as something that can ground them, realign them, and get them back in connection with source. All right, I am moving on to pile number 3. There will be timestamps edited in after the broadcast, potentially quite after the broadcast, but I would do my best. Remember, if you'd like to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below, and I'd love a chance to read for you in real life. We are moving on to pile number 3. I need to figure out how to get like more dramatically dark table tents, because these have not been showing up, and I'm trying to angle them. I have no idea why it started bouncing off them so much that you can't even see them. Also, I'm probably going to have to replace my webcam because I can't get the darn thing to focus any longer. So I'm slightly blurry, which makes me look younger. Yay. All right, pile number 3. Your spread is being brought to you by the traditional manga deck, which I am loving. It's anime images, but like they do a very good job with the renderings. Here's your angel answer card. If you have a question, ask it. This card should hopefully supply an answer, particularly if it's not within the reading. And then I have a fortune cookie card as well. And of course, I went nuts with the oracle cards because I was having fun with it. Love, live your truth and share the love that is in your soul. My group of healers, my empath nation, you have loving and light energy to add to this world. If you are hearing this, because my poor group number 3 has tendency to be the trauma survivors. And will that switch around? Yes, because sometimes we're processing trauma and like kind of resolving old wounds, and sometimes we're living in a different energy. And that's why I'm saying, don't pick by rote. Always see which one calls out to you, because it will tell you where your energy is for the month. Live your truth and share the love that is in your soul. The more love that you share, the more love that you will experience, simply because you're living in the energy of love. If you're wondering, where the heck is my person? Why can't this be resolved? We're going to keep going here. But interact with the world with as much love in your heart as you can, and more love will come to you. This is your Lantern Oracle. Inner life. Your inner life is a garden to be cultivated. Choose your emotional direction. Choose how you think about things. That's not the same thing as emotional repression. It is okay to admit when something sucks, but then find the ways in which it doesn't and focus on them instead. Acknowledge your reality, but don't get caught in negativity. Once you acknowledge it, let it go and move forward into what you wish things to be, the best way that you can spin things so that you can concentrate on the positive, like energy, attracting like energy, and your inner life is a garden to be cultivated. If you are living in the energy of, why would I even try? Nothing ever gets better. Well, then nothing ever will. It will be very difficult for things to come to you. Try to be receptive. Try to think of hopeful and positive things. It could happen. That could happen. This wonderful thing could happen. I'm not going to bet the farm on it because I don't want to be disappointed, but it really could happen. Things could just keep getting better from this moment forward for the rest of my life. My life could turn into the biggest success story ever. Tell yourself these things. Your thoughts matter in what comes to you. And apparently this is going to be the month where I just go off on the law of attraction. The law of attraction is flawed in the way that it is presented. You are allowed to have negative thoughts. You're allowed to have doubts. It's actually very, 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 very unhealthy to try and repress all of that, and to only focus on the positive and pretend the negative isn't there. That's what builds up issues. And then you end up having to heal for 3 and 4 years as you try to cope with all the things that you repressed. Live in balance. You can still manifest. And the way that you bring things into being is by you cope, you examine, you heal, and then you choose which direction to take something in. But you can't pretend that's not there. It will come and get you. It's still there. It's ye old elephant in the room energy. Make necessary sacrifices. Don't relinquish your power. Oh, what's happening? Love and don't relinquish your power. Do we have a new relationship? Secretary Bird, be rid of your enemies. Hey, if there is somebody from your past, whether it is a parent, whether it is a partner, whether it is a friend or a terrible employer, if they're not in your life any longer, stop giving them so much of your energy by thinking about them. Stop thinking about that situation. Resolve it, let it go, and move forward. It is not the same thing as saying this very formative and shaping experience that I had that is still impacting my life today. Didn't matter. What it is saying is, I am not going to give you more of me. So be rid of your enemies, people who don't belong in your life, people who don't belong in your thoughts, people who don't dwell on the negative. If you're thinking about things from the past, have fond memories, but go forward. Keep going forward. It's very hard for new things to come to you if all you're ever doing is looking at the crap in the past. Time to go. Whoa. And new life, let go, and new things will come to you. It's time to release the past, no matter how traumatic and painful it was. Let it go. And when people hear that, it sounds like they're being shamed for having feelings. That's not what I mean, not even close to it. Here's the deal. Everybody in this particular collective grouping, they're usually dealing with emotional trauma. When you're being asked to let something go, to release it, to leave it in the past, it will never, ever be saying that is inconsequential. This is a giant building block of you, but you spent all of your healing time trying to chip it away, understand it, take it apart, and get back down to the foundation that is you. That's the goal. Not cataloging the wounds of the past so that we can hold them up as a shield against future experiences. If your past has been difficult, and as I share over and over again here, my past, not awesome. It's in the past, and my future will be what I make it. And even though like everything I ever wanted and dreamed for and planned for went away and will never, ever, ever, ever come back. My life is just gone and I cannot get it back, nor would I wish to. That's not tragic. What it is the situation at hand that I can make the most out of. Time to go is releasing disappointment with what happened in the past, because thinking about it does not change it. But the future is made by what is coming up, what we're doing right now. And that's why it's so important to be positive, to try and release pain after you've healed the injury, and to not judge every person you meet as, are you like that person? Are you like this situation? Now, do I need to be careful with you? Instead, know that all of that work that you did taught you how to protect yourself. Doesn't matter if they're like that person. You're a different person because you healed you. I have abundance. Hooray! Abundance with new life. That's awesome. I'm apparently going to knock this deck down with my elbow if I don't move it. Stargazing. When you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. Remember, they're not really fairies. They're talking about spirits of air when they're talking about fairies. Fairies are not what these decks depict them to be. They're amazing. Your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation. Tapping in whatever way works for you. Some people meditate best while they're exercising. It does not have to be in like a tranquilly painted room on a cushion listening to a particular type of music. Whatever works for you is the thing that's how you tap in. And for some people, it will be looking up into the night sky or being at night meditating, asking for messages to be given to you in your sleep. There are things like dream stones. You can use a lapis as well to ask to have your truth revealed in your sleep, put it underneath your pillow, meditate with it before you go to bed. This is actually a type of spell. You can put truth serum on it. Please don't. That's an actual truth spell. Most people don't really want to know the truth. Meditate with a lapis, put it underneath your pillow, ask for clarity, ask for visions, and it's more likely to come to you. The energy will be aided. Milestone with, oh, you had 3, present power and the loving man. Well, we'll find out what that's about. Apparently, for some people, well, the loving man, if you identify as male, then that could be self-love. Milestone is a great achievement, things happening, getting past a significant barrier. As for instance, I am now divorced. Yay! So there was a milestone for me in August. Present power is, of course, knowing you're powerful, knowing that you're more than equal to every task. The loving man is often a partner, somebody coming in and somebody who is emotionally balanced and emotionally controlled. Basically a real grown-up. There we go. This is the manga decks. Love it. So, so pretty. Here we go. Can I get group number 3's predictive spread, please? How are we doing on time? All right. There we go. I have a reading at 4 o'clock, and hopefully they're going to understand if I'm a little bit late because I'm running a little over here. Okay. And 2. 4 of Pentacles being guarded, 10 of Cups in the upright. Okay, 2 more times, please. That's family, love, life partner. It's fulfillment. It's satisfaction. Hierophant in the upright. It's a lot of marriage stuff. King of Swords in the upright. Knight of Wands in reverse. 10 of Swords in reverse. Oh, all that trouble processing. That makes sense for this group. Queen of Wands in the upright. Death card in the upright. Queen of Pentacles in the upright. This can be a Scorpio. It does not have to be. Death does not mean death. Death is about transformation and new beginnings. Sometimes it's closure. I'm not getting that sense from this. 10 of Wands in reverse. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Justice in reverse. Wow, you need to scale back. You're energetically unbalanced again. You have a hard time admitting how depleted you are and how drained you are. Like you really are one of those people who'll be like, oh, I've been getting this message for months. I'm exhausted. I'll take off 3 days. For instance, like right now, I'm pretty much working part-time because I, of course, have gotten that message over and over again. And instead of saying, okay, I'll take 2 weeks off, I couldn't figure out a way to do that without my poor clients, like practically, like it would be difficult. And so what I've been doing is I've been limiting my hours for the last couple of months. 6 of Wands in the upright, work the solution. Find a problem that is persistent. And if what you've been trying to do to solve it has not solved it yet, take a different approach. 6 of Wands in the upright, Lovers in reverse, Knight of Pentacles in reverse. There's leisure activity being, this is like a scenic drive or something. You're being asked to take some more time off, apparently. You're very frustrated, drained, depleted. There is, like, you're happier. The Hierophant, of course, can be a Taurus. It can be marriage. Honest to goodness, this loving man's like throwing me a little bit with the King of Swords as well. 4 of Cups in reverse, 6 of Pentacles in reverse, the Devil in reverse. You've healed from codependency, but you're just a drained human sometimes. High Priestess in the upright, Page of Wands in reverse. It's most likely to manifest with anger. Like you're still trying to release anger. Last group was as well. You're doing well with it. Like you have like periods where you're super happy. Your new beginning is right there. Consider like making a plan to go and look at, if you're in the US or in any of the areas that has the autumns where the leaves change, like consider taking a scenic drive. There's something about like a pretty vista helping you a great deal. You don't have much further to go on that though. You've almost run out of stuff to do. 8 of Pentacles in the upright is of course that kind of mastering a situation. 2 Pentacles in reverse. My gosh, I think every group has gotten that card right there. There's a missing piece in the information that you're being given. And why does that happen? We're not actually meant to know everything. We want to know everything, but we're not meant to. It may have to do with this loving man energy. The 6 of Wands can be a new person coming in as well. It's outside of a work environment. For those of you looking for relationships, you have a new beginning. You have a new beginning that is trying to enter your life. Every time you're told anything about it, it either freaks you out to the extent that it can't get there, or like you're because you have manifesting energy as well, you're preventing something. Stop looking for answers. It does not mean what you think it means when you don't get answers. Like just relax. Just relax. Your personal happiness, it does not have to be a romantic relationship. Your personal happiness is it's all there. Like sometimes you have it 100% on your side already. Like you can feel it flowing through you. You are disrupted sometimes because you repressed enough anger to fuel like most of the gas stoves in the LA County. Like you really just, you kept something down and kept something down and kept something down because for some reason you didn't know that you had the right to be angry about it. And now that you're having trouble getting rid of all of it. Like you'll go through, it's like you're grieving, only it's anger processing. And the way grief works is at first, if you think of it in terms of waves, it's just one wave after the other. You're getting knocked silly by the darn things. And then as it starts to recede, the waves get further and further apart. And it can be very disheartening to people when they think I'm healed, and then they get hit by another wave of negative emotions or grief or pain or sad or loss in it. And it's perfectly natural. Like there's never a point in which it's like, if something really profoundly altered you, there's not really a point at which you go, well, I'm done with that forever. It can come back. You can be triggered. You can be reminded of something in a less like powerful way than being triggered. Your anger's like that. Like your anger is almost entirely gone, but they're still trying to help you drain the very last parts of it. And you don't like yourself when you're angry. And that's part of the reason that please try to remember that the reason you don't like yourself has nothing to do with you. Like you've worked really hard on the whole self-love. Like you've learned that you're a powerful person, that everything that you have criticized yourself for, viewed from another angle, is a gift. Like you can be very vibrant and very directed. But remember, all of the negative things you believe about yourself, they were programmed into you by partners, by parents, by society sometimes. Your greatest weaknesses, the things that you really take yourself to task for, again, when slightly adjusted, are actually so closely related to your greatest strengths, because everything contains its opposite, that simply a change in perspective can change that energy from one that is negative into something that is positive, because all that incredible anger is also drive. If you can because you don't like it, you just don't like it, it makes you feel gross. So you try to avoid letting it out. And you will always have things that can still stir you to anger, but you associate getting angry with this kind of like, burn the village to the ground, salt the earth, burn the bones, bury it so it can never come back to life. Like that's what you associate anger with, this catastrophic big bam boom. It's not going to be like that going forward once you finish this processing. You have a little bit of a hiccup with it sometime in September. Try to keep it in the right perspective. You are learning to have far more and more control of that. But that Knight of Wands in reverse with that Ten of Swords in reverse, you've moved on from trauma processing, and now you're getting, and it's not toxic. It's not toxic. If anything, it's a tiny bit righteous. It is the anger it's indignation. It is the fury at the treatment that you received. Direct it at the appropriate sources, the people who hurt you, the people. And it doesn't mean that you have to hate somebody. It's just recognize what you did was wrong. And the reason that it's so important to do that is on the other side of that processing, once you get it all out, you'll discover, I'm okay. All right, I'm done. And then you can let them go. You can let go of the situation, and your anger will be appropriate to the situations. Anger is not negative. Anger is protective. It's a very close relative to fear, and anger protects fear. When we get angry, it's usually to try and protect our fear. Anger is part of good boundary setting, and you don't have to get infuriated in order to have boundaries, but you have to be aware of like, nope, no further. And learning how to enforce boundaries is the thing that will keep you from having all of this compounded pain. Let us go for a fairy oracle. I need to be, like I said, a little bit cognizant of the time. I only do these once a month now, so I have a tendency to go on and on. I apologize. Here we go. Let's go for group number 3. What's the fairy oracle for them? And I was just telling the other group, this is not, oh my word. Whom do you need to forgive? As you release old anger or resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. Well, okay. So that's your card. That's why it's like it curdles you. You don't like it. It takes on a life of its own because it's been down there for way too long. As you release old anger or resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. So that's the point of all the processing, all the difficulty. This has been a hard group because it's the trauma and apparently now the anger processing group, and it will switch around because things come in waves. Whenever you're picking pile number 3, it's because you got a wave coming towards you. This time it is trying to lead you to very, very, very great happiness. And potentially for some people, and remember, if you don't want a relationship that is a romance, the divine is never going to be like, too bad. You get to make your own choices. So if this part does not resonate for you or you reject it, then it doesn't have to be part of your life. But if you're rejecting it out of fear, if you're rejecting it because people in the past did you bad, remember that is giving your power to somebody else, and never, ever, ever relinquish your power. If you won't allow new people in because older people hurt you, you're excluding good people. There are a lot of good people in this world. They don't get a lot of press sometimes, but there are a lot of good people in this world. You're excluding good things by holding bad things away. And you're assuming that, and again, that's giving that person or people or situations so much power over you after they're long gone from your life. That is the point of releasing the pain and the trauma. So group number 3, it is a month where you've still got some emotional processing around that, but it is to achieve something. Make necessary sacrifices. Make necessary sacrifices. Well, that's prioritizing. Stargazing, you need to tap in. It's time to let go of things so that you can experience an abundant new life. Be rid of your enemies. Whoever these people were, person, people, bosses, relationships, cousins, what have you, let them go. You deserve to live in a better energy. Process it and let it go, and you will transform your entire life. Abundance is trying to come to you, and apparently is trickling to you even as we speak. Nothing in September says it's going to be a bad month whatsoever, but love comes in many, many forms. Really wants to be the defining energy of your life, both in your profession and in your personal life. And if you reject that upon hearing it, that is a sign you have something to heal. And I don't think you are any longer. I really don't. But if you're hearing it, just accept it as, well, maybe there's validity there. I'll just be open to releasing old anger and releasing old relationships that are no longer serving me. I am going to get some energy cards. I don't think I did this yet. I might have, who knows? Let's go. You probably do. Here we go. What's going on for group number 3? Oh my word. Angel of Love, the thinking man. A man holding a coin. Well, love, security, all manner of wonderful things are coming to you. Your energy is the angel of love. And listen, like there's a very, and it's, remember, I think gender is a meaningless construct enforced upon us by society. We all have biological functions. That is not the same thing as what we define gender as being. So I'm not the biggest believer in gender in determining a great many things, but somebody, and it seems like a man from these cards, is trying to enter your life. It is a very strong presence. It is a very together, secure, apparently potentially wealthy presence that is trying to enter your life. And it could be, this is a card for self-love as well. It is trying to let yourself live in the energy of love again. Try to remember who you were when you were a tiny kid, and don't, like, when you start thinking of that, don't go, and then everybody hurt me. Instead, remember what your nature was like. You're trying to get back to your core being so that everything that was really meant for you can come to you. I'm afraid of the romance angels after that, but let's see what it's saying. What's coming up for group number 3 in September? What's coming up for group number 3 in September? The energy of love is surrounding you. There is still more focus on your healing. You do not need to worry about money. I did not see new jobs starting. And your creativity is a little bit hampered by continuing to do a little bit of healing work. I don't want to see this. Here we go. Yeah. Well, flirt and deception. Extend your lighthearted energy to others in deception. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. Hey, group number 3, it might be you. If you're seeking being alone for reasons of safety, or there are no good people, finances and careers, financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. You tend to focus on work. This false mask thing, it's a protective one. Now, could there really be somebody who's like lying to you and flirting with you and trying to pick you up? Of course there could. Nothing else in the read picked that up. I think you're choosing solitude for reasons of safety rather than what you truly emotionally desire. And that has to do with needing to heal and allow time to go and really be rid of your enemies. Let go of the past so that your future can really come to you. Very secure looking energy around that. All right, your angel answers card, group number 3. Remember, if you had a question, I didn't answer it in that read. Hopefully this will. Recovery. Recovery. And let's go for your fortune teller. Oh, friendship. A friend needs your help. Your kindness and excellent counseling skills will put them back on track. You have healing energy. People probably seek you out for it. You probably give that really, really good advice and then do not follow it. All right, we're moving on to group number 4. Try to follow your own advice. You're really rock solid on that. Stop thinking of life as a potential pain fest. Like, not every new experience contains the building blocks of agony. It could be joy and delight. Try to be optimistic again. You found that to not be safe, and the reason it wasn't safe is you just had not healed yet. And like energy attracts like energy. You're very, very close to healed. Allow the idea of more connection, healthy, happy, good, loving connection in your life, no matter what form it takes. Okay, we're moving on to group number 4. If you want to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. I would love a chance to read for you in real life. Group number 4, the Zillich Tarot, which I absolutely adore. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. A slightly smaller deck for a change. I'm usually talking about how they're way too big for anybody to handle. This is a smaller deck. Very vibrant, very beautiful. Really, really recommend it. Okie dokie. Let's get going with your oracle cards. Group number 3. First, you have your angel answer card. At the end of the reading, if I have not answered a question that you have, hopefully this card will. And then there's also a fortune cookie card that I put there with it because it's just fun to close out the reads with fortune cookie. All right, blue star is from the Starseed Oracle. Follow the light of your inner compass, the blue star. It will lead you to the truth that resides within your soul. Follow the light of your inner compass. Go back to your core being. I've been talking about, apparently that's the theme of September, is finding your original purpose, your original energy, sloughing off all the damage and the pain and the scars of what is basically environmental damage, which is formative damage, which is relationship damage, which is that which happens to us, that this does not define who we are. Okay. So I have radical self-acceptance. You are perceived the way you perceive yourself. Well, that's good to know. Claim your art. Do not be self-deprecating as a way of trying to make other people feel comfortable. You're a little prone to it. Like, you know, you're a little extraordinary and you downplay it because you might have been in an environment where, like, if you ever claimed something, it angered a narcissist near you. And they would especially tear you down. You do not need to be as self-deprecating as you are. You're actually special. It's okay to know that. You don't have to talk about it because that would make you deeply uncomfortable. But you don't need to talk about how all these wonderful things that you really can do are commonplace, because they're not. You're not a commonplace person. Feel joy in all you do. Every single experience that you have throughout the course of the day could be really, really fun if you treat it as being one. Yay, let's go pee. Like, sincerely, whatever the way you approach something very much shapes the experience that you're going to have with it. And there can be delightful surprises, but very, 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 very infrequently does somebody approach something saying, this could be great. Now, if you're like, it's going to be great, everything's going to be wonderful, then a disappointment will feel catastrophic. But if you approach something with the, I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but it could be good, and you talk to people with that energy, they respond in kind. It does shape what happens. Roman tufted goose from the Bird Oracle. Take heed of those who give warnings. Well, okay. We'll find out what that's about. If you're being warned about something, apparently take heed. Follow good advice, by the way. The Loyal Heart card with a change in the wind, voyage, a lot of traveling energy this month too. Purity, always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it, you will find the answer to your question. We do have our answers within. This is the radical self-acceptance card. And then blue star was the one, follow the light of your inner compass. You will find the answers to your question within and follow the light of your inner compass. Try connecting to the actual collective. Just set it as an intention the next time you meditate, or if you like to listen to sleep meditations, which I do because I can't meditate for beings in the typical sense, you can simply ask for the experience you would like to have in your subconscious, which is connecting to the collective, being joined with your tribe. Optimism with, oh crap, deception and optimism. And there's a warning card up here. Take heed of those who give warnings. Hey, listen. If friends are trying to tell you that like somebody's bad news, it's okay to listen. The deception card always unnerves me a little bit, simply because it can be about self-deception, it can be gossip, it can be all kinds of things. And it can be something, you know, working their own agenda. And when you don't perceive dark motives easily, like people can try, I think you're pretty seasoned, be on your toes a little bit, but loyal heart and then a change in the wind. Loyal heart is, of course, a deep connection to another person. It can simply be a friendship. Here we go. Let's get going for group number 4. What's going on for them in September? How's my time? Oh, I need to boogie. My reading is going to have to understand that maybe a few minutes late. Here we go. All right, the Hermit in reverse. Ooh, emerging from a time of healing. Yay. And 2. And 3. 6 of Wands in the upright, voyage, 6 of Wands, 4 of Cups. That seems to be in reverse to me, which is where I like it anyway. The 4 of Cups is not necessarily a bad card, but it is a card of not being particularly contented most of the time. It can be about ruminating. It can be about concentrating on the negative, and if there's like something really wonderful trying to be part of your life. All right, here we go. All right, I have the Chariot in the upright. Well, that's traveling energy, and more traveling energy with the Magician. This is the Cancer card. I hardly ever call out the astrological implications of cards because the time I get them all down, I have all the suits represented. 9 of Wands in reverse, clear and open field, being receptive. 3 of Cups in the upright, friendship gatherings. Listen, somebody might be gossiping about you. Like, that's just, be careful. Yep, Princess of Pentacles in reverse, the Empress in reverse. Four of Swords in reverse, 5 of Pentacles in reverse, 7 of Swords in reverse. That is a lie being revealed. This is not necessarily a bad thing. Very strange. Okay, 5 of Swords in reverse as well. 5 in reverse, 5 in reverse, Hanged Man in reverse, 10 of Swords in reverse. Okay. 10 of Swords in reverse, one of my least favorite cards. It's about, can be being about stabbed in the back, actually. Oh, geez. All right, the Star in reverse, the Devil card in the upright, the 7 of Pentacles in the upright, 10 of Pentacles in reverse, 2 of Swords in reverse. Okay, this is a work situation. Okay, somebody is going to be not working on the team for in a work environment, and they're going to lie about what they did and didn't do, and there's apparently some blame throwing for some people. Stand up for yourself, that claim your art thing. Like, if you actually did what you were supposed to, don't take one for the team. It's not the same thing as throwing somebody under the bus, but you're allowed to stand up for yourself. For other people, I have kind of an interesting energy around a lie being revealed to you, but it's not a bad thing. It gives you peace. It's, you learn the truth about something, and it's apparently a joyful thing. So, yay. You are perceived the way you perceive yourself. Keep that part in mind too. Take heed of those who give warnings. If a doctor's telling you to do something, like remember, like they went to school for that, like give it the proper weight. If somebody who's better qualified for you is giving you advice, like you don't think that a half-hour Google search puts you on par with them. Follow good professional advice. There's something there where you're resistant to something, and it's for your own good, and it will protect you going forward. So I don't know if it's an accountant or what it is, but this deception energy is bugging me just a little bit. It appears to be somebody who is trying to claim credit for something that is actually yours. So just be aware of that. Okay. Anything else here? Lots of traveling energy, good time to make plans around that. Consider what you're going to be doing for, maybe it's time to start thinking about what you want to do for whatever your holiday season is, because I've got multiple cards around travel. The Magician is making everything happen. See yourself, see your future in as much detail as you can and make it a good one. Sincerely make it a good one. You have all this manifesting energy. The Three of Cups in this particular deck is marked with the word abundance as well. Excellent energy around a lot of things, but somebody's trying to lie to you in a matter around money. And you will know it. You will know it. So just, it's you're worth protecting, even if you're the person doing it. Just keep that part in mind. All right, let's keep going. Three of Wands is like, that's receiving. It can be anticipation as well. It's often called the ship coming in card, because a person is also often seen standing waiting for their ship to come in. That's why it can be anticipation. But it's having a lot of choices available to you, and they're all positive. You have one like dark and murky figure, but like you deal with them so handily. You have, by the way, in that situation where somebody's likely gossiping about you, like you have somebody who will stand up for you as well. Make sure you're a part of that. Just make sure you're part of that. Make sure you appropriately defend yourself, and appropriately, and you're not like a maniac about it, but you let things go sometimes. And this one, it's important not to. There's a consequence for that person. I do believe it's within a work environment. Rest and rejuvenation, a man holding a heart, the world, cornucopia, victory. Energy cards have been all rah-rah sispinga for September, other than the fact that you are being asked to tap in that blue star energy. That's also the rest and rejuvenation. Also, make sure that you are actually doing fun and diverting things. You're not too bad about that. You live a pretty balanced existence. I have so much increase around joy and happiness and feeling like you have it all. And remember, still allow new things to enter your life. Even though you've come to a place where you're pretty, happy with everything, still allow for increase, still allow for change, still allow for expansion. Don't try not to think in absolutes. I will never do this. I shall never do that. I will always be single. I will always be married. Like, sincerely, always try to be receptive to bring to me that which is meant for me. What is the mantra I just heard the other day? I am a being of limitless potential. I do not chase, I attract, and that which is meant for me is coming to me. And I, of course, being me, add the word soon to that. That which is meant for me is going to find me soon. So, yeah. Apparently my lesson in patience continues. All right, I have holiday. The answers you're looking for can be found during a vacation, retreat, or holiday getaway. There is so much, please, like your travel plans are all over the place here. If you have a trip coming up, apparently there's answers there to be had. And also, if you've been having trouble connecting, Planning a weekend getaway can help a great deal. If you can't do a full weekend, like you're like, hey, a spa trip's not in my budget, get out to a state park, take an extra day off, take a personal day, go hug a tree. Because connecting with nature, I'm not being flip, like it really does help you connect. And there's potentially all kinds of things that are coming to you. Feel joy in all that you do. I have such a bubbly type of energy around September. I really, really like it. Let's go for the enchanted nap. Is there anything else I need to know here? Change in the wind, increase. Because you're kind of happy, like you're like, oh no, not more change. It's positive change. Try to remember that part. It can happen. Who's down there? Oh, commitment. Sorry, I know I like react to the idea of relationships with near horror. Home, commitment, home. There we go. And spark. Okay. Well, you're happy, you're secure, and we have some, like, you have strong friendship energy available to you. And everything on here is also be receptive to the idea of planning something that is away from your home as well, because it brings you greater flow. You need to break out of a very established energy. It's important to change things up sometimes. It changes our energy signature. It allows new things to come to us. We all like our routines, but it's not actually great to do the same things day after day after day, because it almost wears a groove into the energetic universe. You're being asked to make a little bit of effort in September to shake it up. If you always go to Starbucks, go to Pete's Coffee or something, shake it up. Do something different. You will get a different result. It allows access. It makes room. It makes room for more changing energy to come in. And then again, this Voyage card, Six of Wands, Victory, all kinds of things in there are saying travel is playing some role in September for you. I'm going to get a romance angel as well. Oh my goodness, I actually did very well with busting that out in the time period available. Group number 4 has a tendency to go very quickly. You're dealing with the fewest emotional issues. And again, it's not the same group of people. Like the numbers do have a tendency to reflect, well, that has to do with relationships, that's trauma, that's overall. And then this is like for people who are just kind of on maintenance stuff, group number 4 has a tendency to be that group. And it will switch around from week to week because we don't live in an unvarying energy. Like there are phases and times and things rise up and then they recede. And so that's why I will say, please, please, please see which one's calling out to you. Because your energy, we all have times of change. We all have times of trauma. We have times where we're considering the relationships that are in our lives. And sometimes we're taking the overall picture. And yes, I obviously do know which number has tendency to correlate with which. But number 4 has tendency to go the most rapidly because you're doing the least work at this point. It may change at some point. Chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction there. Getting to know each other as you reveal your innermost self to each other, your bond deepens. There is some type of new, if not new, nourishing type of relationship. I'm not sure it's a romance. Watch out for the only thing I didn't like there were repeated, like, be careful. You got a little bit of not an adversary or a foe, but like somebody who's so out for themselves that they will happily heave you under the wheels of transportation. So just be self-protective. Your angel answers card is wait. For what? And oh my goodness, sexuality. Existing relationships could find a new passion. Well, good for you. And heightened sexual attraction. Opportunities for marriage and good family life are strong. But if single, beware of temptation that could lead to trouble. A child will also bring great joy. Now, a child can simply be a new beginning. And increased sexuality and increased passion sounds delightful. I didn't get a bunch of romantic pairing there, but like, hey, friends with benefits, maybe that's the thing, who knows? So thank you so much for joining me. This was Spirit Guide Monthly for the month of September. I will see you at the last Friday before October. I hope you have a marvelous month. I have some more pick-a cards planned for you. Please don't forget to check out the channel, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. I will edit it in timestamps, hopefully right now, because I have a few minutes before my read. Take care, be well, and I hope that